Honourable members, we will continue with the response to His Excellency's address, and I now call upon the Assistant Minister for Health and Medical Services, the Honourable Alexandra O'Connor. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Honourable Speaker, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Cabinet Ministers, Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Members of Parliament, members of the public in the gallery, and those watching this proceeding from the comfort of their homes, a very good morning to you all. Mr. Speaker, sir, may I take this opportunity to acknowledge all Fijian children today as we celebrate World Children's Day. I wish to thank the members of Parliament who have taken the time to dress in blue today to signify this very important day in our calendar. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to make my contribution to the motion by Honourable Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama before this House that Parliament thanks His Excellency the President for his most gracious speech at the opening of the 2019-2020 session of Parliament on Tuesday, 12th of November 2019. Mr. Speaker, sir, in his most gracious speech, His Excellency the President mentioned, and I quote, "Only 6 short years since the launch of our 2013 Constitution, we are undoubtedly still living some of the most consequential chapters of our history," unquote. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the #OurConstitution challenge this last September, the response was overwhelming. His Excellency mentioned 6-year-old Shaveen Kumar, who said how he loves our Constitution because it empowered him to unabashedly call himself Fijian. The Nokilevu sisters, Siteri and Kalera of Rewa, who spoke about how the right of information enhances civic engagement and lends transparency to our democracy. Chosua from Moale in Laos shared how our constitutional right to health and the regular visits of health officers to his island has dramatically changed life in his community for the better. Rather than selling coconuts to cover the boat fares to visit a health facility, his community can count on healthcare officers to deliver life-saving services directly where they reside. Thanks to the Bainimarama government for the foresight in purchasing a dedicated ship complete with dentistry and surgery equipment capable of carrying out emergency operations on board on the water. Mr. Speaker, sir, Constitution Day reminds us, among other things, of a very important issue, and that is today, every citizen of our beloved country can proudly call themselves Fijians. The name is universal, like Americans, Australians, New Zealanders, French, Germans, and so forth. Governments' move to have everyone being called Fijian is equal citizenry. While delivering his address at the 73rd United Nations General Assembly in New York in September of 2018, our Prime Minister, Honourable Voreqe Bainimarama, said he was proud of what was accomplished by Fijian democracy. I quote, "Where once we had only the shell of democracy, we have now pierced that shell, and we have brought the Fijian people into a genuinely inclusive society in which minority rights are respected and all citizens are equal, not just in name, but in fact. That is the great promise of the 2013 Fijian Constitution, which has been the beacon for our progress through its vast array of political and socio-economic protections for every Fijian," unquote. You only have to look around the world at rugby tournaments, regardless of whether our Sevens teams or the Flying Fijians or the Fiji Batis are playing, you will find Fijians of different ethnic background cheering together under the Fijian banner blue. When the Fijian Sevens team returned home from Rio with the Olympic gold medal, Fijians turned out in numbers and rejoiced the win. Mr. Speaker, sir, when government first proposed this change for everyone to be called Fijian, there was hue and cry from all sections of the country. In bringing about equal citizenry, the government has extended public utilities, infrastructure and services throughout the country to include the disadvantaged and those living in the rural area and in the outer islands. Is this not what all our different religious teachings want us to do? To see our Prime Minister put smiles on the faces of Fijians living in some of the most rural and remotest areas in Fiji through development is indeed priceless. Of course, the key to all of this is the foundation of the roadmap, and that is the People's Charter for Change, Peace and Progress, which was compiled through an unprecedented nationwide consultation process and endorsed by His Excellency the President in December 2008 for implementation. Like St. Paul on the road to Damascus, the Prime Minister saw the light of an enduring vision. The nation could not keep sustaining a culture of ethnic divisions coupled with upheavals. A constitution was required that would protect Itoke identity, cultural and land rights, nurtured multicultural rights and promoted prosperity. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 2013 Constitution upholds the legal and moral basis of a common and equal citizenry without denying anyone's individuality or culture. It enshrines principles such as an independent judiciary, a secular state, and a wide range of civil, political, and socio-economic rights. Citizens have guaranteed of free education, adequate housing and health care, social security, clean water, and protection of the environment. They also have a right to economic participation and reasonable minimum wages. For the first time, the Constitution protects the right of disabled Fijians. It recognizes the Itoke, Ratuman, and Banaban peoples of Fiji and their customary practices, and ensures protection of their land rights, ensures protection for the rights of tenants, demands accountability and transparency from government officials, creates strong and independent institutions such as FICAC, and replaces the old electoral system with one based on the principles of one person, one vote, one value. As we enter the 6th year of its existence, let us all work together for the common good of the nation and contribute constructively to its ethos and prosperity. Mr. Speaker, sir, may I take this opportunity to reply to Honorable Salote Randrona's revelations she made during her reply. Firstly, may I acknowledge that His Excellency is the lead advocate for Fiji's fight against NCD in Fiji. Health and medical services delivery system comprise primary health care and universal health care services delivered by community health workers, nursing stations, health centers, subdivisional hospitals, divisional hospitals, and specialist hospitals. All services, both NCD and CD, are delivered at all these levels of the MOHS health system. NCD prevention has a very well-established system of public health care and universal health coverage. Community health workers promote healthy lifestyles. Nursing stations and health centers are equipped and trained to do screening for high blood pressure, high blood sugars, and do lifestyle interventions through SOPD clinics. The cases that need specialist care are seen by specialist teams who visit these facilities. In some places like Moana, they are referred straight to Suva, as in this case. Diabetes and hypertension screening and medications are available at all health facilities. The system of repatriation of cases that need specialist care is well established, where our staff are accessible to consult with specialists in the division. The system for financial assistance is also well established in relation to referral of cases from the periphery to the divisions, as well as referral of cases for overseas treatment. Our staff at all nursing stations and health centers are well trained and equipped to deliver primary health care in terms of NCD. In fact, they are more accessible to universal health coverage now than before in terms of availability of specialist outreach teams. The latest specialist outreach services as we speak have just been completed for Tailevu, Nandrangana and Kandavu subdivisions. Plans for future outreach programs are already set for the maritime areas, and people are encouraged to attend these outreaches coming their way. Our staff are trained, abled, and more than capable to deliver the services the Honourable Member is concerned about. In closing, Mr. Speaker, sir, may I plead with the Honourable Members on that side of the House, to stop spreading false information as those members of the public that contributed to the recent hashtag challenge are some of our future generation who are vigilantly taking stock of what we politicians are displaying in this House, in particular the cursing of our children. Mr. Speaker, sir,
Mr. Speaker.
I support
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order.
Order. Point of order.
Mr. Speaker, I wasn't going to rise on a point of order, but Honourable O'Connor has forced me to do so on point of order 62C. And I have to say something on this, Honourable Speaker, if I may. First of all, I need to correct the Honourable Member and the members on the other side. Honourable Speaker, blood pressure. I did not, Honourable Speaker, I did not curse all children. I need to correct myself. I did not curse all children, Honourable Speaker.
Order. Order.
Honourable Speaker.
Order. Honourable Member, if you have a point of order, make a point of order. Don't converse with anyone else on this side.
Apologies.
The chair.
Apologies, Mr. Speaker. First of all, number one, I did not curse all children. Number two, I wish to apologize for my Facebook post of September the 6th, which was done in anger and disgust when all government members voted against an unjust ruling to send this innocent man home. What I should have done, Mr. Speaker, is warn them of the sins of the father and of the mother, visiting their children even to the third and fourth generations as foretold in the Bible in Numbers 14:18. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Order. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I did not mention any name, and my comment was cursing of our children. I said not all children. Cursing of our children.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I support the motion before this August House, and may God bless Fiji and its people. I thank you, sir.
I thank the Honourable O'Connor for his contribution.